Okay. I will print these. I sent them to the printer. They must have just not gotten there by the time Andy did. Andy's just super fast.
Yep.
And the printer's been slow lately, so that's okay. I will print these for you though. They do have learning targets on the back side that cover the things that we talked about yesterday. So being able to measure and use a grid, knowing things about Chuck Close's life and how he used grids in his work, stuff like that. What I want to go through with you today quickly here is what you'll be graded on so that you can kind of think ahead on the project with these criteria in mind. So it's a 100-point project. The first 25 will be, are your proportions on your figure correct and accurate? So in other words, are things placed where they need to be placed on the face? Are they the correct sizes? Are they the correct angles? All of that, and that's what you're going to use the grid for. Okay, so your grid here is going to be your main tool. Your second 25 points come from, are your values, meaning lights and darks, replicated according to the photo. So in other words, are you matching where the light areas are on the photo on your drawing accurately? Okay, you can do that in pencil, drawing pencil. That's kind of like the base way to do the project. But if you want more challenge, like if you've done something like this before and you want to take it to the next level, or if you're thinking ahead and you are thinking that you might want to use this project for your cabaret project, you might want to do it in color or something like that just so it stands out a little more. Either way you approach it, we're still going to look for, are the values replicated accordingly, okay? Third set of 25 points is your shading quality. So we're looking that it demonstrates full control of the material. Notice I said the material, so that could be drawing pencil, that could be chalk pastel, that could be oil pastel, that could be colored pencil, that could be any number of things, as long as you're able to recreate those values accurately. That's the word I was trying to say. And we want few to no stroke marks showing and no finger smudging. So that applies to the pencil version. If you're going to do something like oil pastel, or even if you were going to do something like paint perhaps, that might change the requirement a little bit for like things like stroke marks and the actual mark making qualities of the material. So you and I could figure that out depending on what you choose for your material. But for pencil, we want to make sure that we're getting those smooth gradients. We want to try to eliminate any of the stroke marks to show that you have full control of the material. And we're not smudging with fingers, we're not smudging with blending stumps, we're not smudging with paper towels or Q-tips or anything like that. We're just using the actual pencil tips themselves. Make sense? Okay. I will demonstrate how to do all that, so if that doesn't sound like something you're real comfortable with yet, that's okay. Okay. And then your last 25 points for craftsmanship are your grid lines fully erased. So eventually we're going to draw a grid on not only our photo, but then also on the drawing paper, just like I did with the Simpsons demo. And then you'll draw from block to block, and then we'll erase the grid in the final version. So you won't have your grid visible. So we want to make sure now that you're able to draw that grid lightly enough that you're able to erase it fully later at the end. That's really important, okay? We want it to be carefully handled with your edges and corners intact and not crumpled, stained, creased, or rolled. Not that you can't roll it, but obviously if you do, you want to make sure that you're taking care of it so it doesn't like get damaged. These are going to be larger. This is an enlargement project, so it's going to be bigger than it's going to fit in your sketchbook. So plan accordingly. And then your final work and the photo of it are presentation quality. So making sure, that's the right way to say that, that your project is correctly exposed in your portfolio quality photo, making sure things are clean in the final version, particularly if you're going to display it for cabaret. And then we will talk at the end of this project about matting it. Matting is making a paper window frame that goes around the work. It kind of covers the edge a little bit to make it neat. You'll need to mat whatever you do for cabaret, but we'll also mat this portrait project just as part of the project in general as well. And I will have a whole demonstration on how to do that, but just kind of think ahead to know that that is coming. So matting looks like this. So the black paper on here is the mat, and then the center of the black paper is cut out like a window, and then the drawing gets attached on the back side of it. Okay? You don't need to know like the mechanics of all the details of how that works yet, but I will show you, but just so you know that it's coming, and then that's what it will look like when it's finished. This one's from last semester.
Who is that?
It's a little sibling of an art student. Okay, so questions on the rubric. Is this making sense? We kind of understand. I will get you a printout of this. We just have to make another trip to the library. For now, come gather around up here. I'm going to show you how to grid your photo.